and I am ready to work with David Apasara to see the rebounding of the PNC to its glorious position. All those who feel a little hurt because of pronouncements and actions during our campaign, we regret those pronouncements, but this is the time.
But one thing you know about political parties is that if a decision is not mandated by NEC, no individual, especially an interested party, can go to the electoral commission to say the election is not coming on. The elections have taken over last month, but there was a NEC meeting by the leader, and he put a proposal. It was even a proposal. Nobody ever agreed on it. And they agreed on the 7th of September. Then the day before the election, then he comes to say he has received a writ. Nobody saw that writ. I never saw that writ. I was in the office here as a Congress committee chairman. But as I mentioned, Article 4, that had the General Secretary to say, the deputy to say, that had a very useful exercise on Saturday at the UDS guest house. I'm the chairman of the election committee. And by our constitution, Article 41(2), the chairman is supposed to supervise the elections, liaise with the electoral commission, and whatever administrative expenses are there, you then liaise up with the administration to do the necessary expenditure. But I must tell you, it has not been very easy for me. But once I was made the chairman of the election committee,
PNC,
I said,
having been elected, this is Awudu. Having been elected, do solemnly swear to faithfully serve our party and the members. I pledge to uphold the party's constitution, promote its values, and work tirelessly to advance its interests. I further pledge to lead with integrity, transparency, and inclusivity, and to put the party's success above any other interest. So help me God.
Amen. Swearing in so this is what happened in the office of PNC and and Nadia because my main country was set confirmed Yera General Siedu and Ketia Ejina President John Dramani Mahama former president Anemu ako file ne nomination ewo electoral commission. Na esansa na sponsor for na tata yen kakranti yenko no so straight away na fe yentimi eni enkomo na many abema Awudu Ishaq wa hu Awudu Ishaq ena oye general secretary de Emma PNC na no mkoto aba no na wini ye na ene questions ba akomienu bo wa was ye bisa PNC for because aka 89 days near Kotwaba. Why? They are late or they think otherwise. Ishaq had say, I know back at you. You know,
more of English.
I back at you. Now, as I say,
you see,
all right. Over the weekend competition, no, now I am Shishom. No more than
oh, my main shares here at the PNC for Yinas say, Yakwakoto Abano or move vote mamma and Cecilia, me barbe general secretary.
Not one ma one so crabia mammy.
And Cecilia, who frame a general secretary. Anka or move vote ma or be for mentimi ye general secretary enti say menda omo ase Saturday ansa na ye beko akoto aba no unim say obia yere ne ho eye campaign mako regions bebre mako constituencies bebre and many delegates any executive ehia baby aye ko bia omo say adwuma de de omo nim say ye betima aye enti na minstru to say men win
okay
but sana to say Sajon Kaya no delegates there say unsuro omo kakra anka enye sadia anka nim say omo beto aba no man and me ka kire obia say aba we de me win say eye one vote kra
ube win
me dinkuni
na za na ovem wo soro pa
oh baby ka kire me bisa me campaign team baby me ka kire omo say aba no de ebe ye din ba ye be dinkuni
obedi nkunim wo call rounds no eye danya wo mbeka omo challenge bia wo musu so omo to aba ma wa wo be address ya ma omo. What were some of the issues that pop up?
Well, when I decided to be general secretary, to contest for general secretary, I was campaigning on the strength of my experience in the party.
Okay.
I have served as a constituency secretary before. I have served as a regional secretary before.
Okay.
I have served as national youth organizer before. And before today, I was the national communications officer.
Okay.
So I have worked across various structures in the party. So I had already been acquainted with some of the peculiar challenges facing the party and the executives we elect to man the affairs of the party at the constituency and the regional level. And so most of the challenges that they told me about or expressed before me were familiar already to me. Lack of party officers, lack of logistics on elections day to put in place the right mechanisms for elections day strategy, the inability of the party's constitution to bite as a constitution should be able to do to instill discipline in the party. And the fact that for a very long time we have been alienated from the political space because we have not been able to get parliamentarians as a political party. So these were some of the challenges that they expressed before me. And I said that given the opportunity, we would see how best we could work. We are not saying that we are coming to solve all of the problems. We come to do what we can. But at least we must leave a lasting positive impression. And also the
also in I
will not say that. If I get the opportunity, I will do all.
You will do all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Ewo. Mami Misa, 89 days to elections. I find I'm also more flag bearer executives in. When are you filing your nomination?
Well, after we had the swearing in today and after the media engagement, we quickly arranged a functional executive committee meeting that is talking about the national executives who have been elected to form the new crop of leadership under Bernard Mona, who is our flag bearer and leader of the party now. And among other things, you know, it is his right as the presidential candidate to recommend a candidate to the National Executive Committee for approval or otherwise to be his running mate. And you know that nominations officially opened today by the Electoral Commission calendar and would close on the 14th, which is Friday, I suppose.
Yeah, Friday.
And so we are looking at midweek. By Wednesday, our running mate would have been ready, and we will present the running mate and go and file our nominations. Well, what would him say? Answer na ebe do hano. Previous leadership no. Na crisis kakra wo hom. Would him say na ye suspended your former general secretary Janet Asana Nabla. Ena ne konfo bi omo se omo mpene. Ena omo ya sa na ade no ekopie wo court. Enti say asem no ko do court dia until the court passes judgment. Yentimi ye bi yentimi ye hwe.
Okay.
Enti we had to wait until 9th of April when the court made the pronouncement, and then we had to start the reorganization of the party. We had wished that by now we would have done all of these things so that today that others are going to file, we would always go and file. But I keep saying that the race is not just for the sweetest, the race is also for the patient and the strategic.
PNC, Mawo Ghana political terrain, no much. I don't answer. Make us say you are not growing, Anna. It's like more parts, want to be manning attractive to Ghana for more message, and a Ghana for one and I'm with the Ghana for here. Now, my karma Ghana for say. Because my producer president da Limam. I don't know why you should be struggling.
Well, you see, far from that. If it is about the best policy proposals, if it is about the best in terms of human resource, if it is about the best manifestos since 1992, everybody out there who are neutral and truthful will tell you that the PNC has always come out with some of the best policy proposals. And so it tells you that if it were just about message, we would have been the only political party to be ruling Ghana. Because time after time, you see either the NDC or the MPP having to look into our manifesto and take away policies for their implementation.
And the NDC and MPP kwapemo.
Of course. School feeding program, National Health Insurance Scheme, Ministry for Gender and Social Protection, and all those have been policies of the PNC as a party since 1992. You understand? And so many others that we have not been able to take ownership of because we have not had the opportunity to be in government. And so it is not a lack of a good message, a resounding message that has resulted in, admittedly, our abysmal performance. But the fact that Ghana's political terrain, to a very large extent, is becoming more and more monetized. 95.1. More and more monetized to the extent that now people are even looking at who has the deepest pocket before they take a decision as to whether you decide you deserve to lead. You understand?
Ghana for a problem. They say
of course.
More than development or policies.
My campaign manager is sitting right before you. When I was campaigning to be general secretary, I was asking him the kind of demands some people make. We are offering ourselves to come and serve the party. Then people make very outrageous demands. They want money.
Like how much?
No, they just want money. If you give them the whole of your life, they will take.
They will take it.
Yes, because I say that. That's why I use the word over-monetized. I know that you cannot run politics without money. But there are certain basic things you would have to do.
Sure.
We ride in vehicles. We must buy fuel.
Sure.
If you are working with a team, the team must eat.
They will eat.
If you have media who have a job to do in terms of propagating you, you must take care of them. But when delegates, people whose civic responsibility it is to go and vote,
are also demanding money
before they go to vote, it is taken to a whole different level.
So why are we here? Who caused it? Here for now.
Well, I think that it's a two-way situation. It's a two-way because we may not be able to say that it is the electorate that caused it, and you may not also be able to say that it is the politicians who caused it, because some of the electorate think that once they vote for you, until you need their vote again, you won't and you will not do anything for them. So some of the politicians also say that, well, I'll accumulate all the wealth. When it is time for the vote, I'll come and buy the vote. So that when you vote for me, I go and continue accumulating more wealth to always come and buy your conscience. So both parties are culpable. You understand?
Now, only me say we no yam fan share electorate politicians and na akoso because enya politicians and the status so mo maska. Me nya sure say ka electorate na dwen be ba so say eh ade di access ka wo mti ma yan so ebre bi so am ye so yan tame ne anyiska me ga say bia ya to aba ma o ye member of parliament o ye general secretary o ye national chairman obi a ye na dwuma said yo ye no sikatua bia ni ba bia se de okoto aba no kwa adwene maso say yan ko demand sika wo Enti do you start ye na all man no. No na kwa so.
95.1.
Well, you see, when I say that people demand money in order to take a decision, it's not just only about the voting. If you vote for your member of parliament, and then it would have to take your member of parliament for your child's school fees to be paid, or for your wife's medical bills to be paid, or for you to feed your family. Where do you expect the member of parliament to get that money from? Where do we expect that the member of parliament to get that money from? And so when we start making some of those demands, it even reaches a point where consciously you know that that particular leader you have chosen is not a good leader. But because you have benefited unduly, because it's not of right for a member of parliament to go and pay your child's school fees. It is the member of parliament's responsibility to ensure that they create a congenial environment for us to be able to take care of ourselves and our families, to enjoy all of those social services. Let us take them to tax and ensure that they do the right thing. But if it becomes a personal matter, that those of us who have the opportunity of establishing a certain relationship with those in power, we are the ones to be benefiting, then these other guys, they would also, as it were, look for more money and continue to be corrupting everybody, buying everybody's conscience. I'm not standing in for that. I'm not saying it is the right thing, but that is what is happening. We cannot run away from it, to the extent that even today, internal party politics, like I was telling you, has also reached a certain level where it is so absurd. So absurd.
All right, I want us to get free PNC proper. But quick one, how do we solve this? You better then na solve this our problem. Yeah, say I say dayanim kakraka. You better then yamagana fwats ya say abana ya kwatono wo right. So we choose ni po obedi wanim. Na eya wasedia so say wo hold nipa na wo wato abama no accountable na watimi aye adwuma say wo beji sika free nipa no ho no waton wo right.
Well, I subscribe to the notion that leadership is cause, every other thing is effect.
Sure.
Once we are able to get truthful, honest, pragmatic leaders who can come and say that what we are engaged in is not good enough. And it doesn't matter whether you get a renewal of the people's mandate or not. You stand on your feet and do the right thing and change people's psyche and change people's mentality and change people's way of doing things. Then we could begin changing this whole quagmire in which we find ourselves as a people. Otherwise, we are doomed.
Wow. Anyway, yentin see PNC mo. Say baby amadri mo chain say mo be kwa file mo nomination ni ade. By the close of week, you should be done with your running mates and filing of the nomination as well. After that, my mobile launch mo manifesto na.
Oh yes.
Okay.
You know, we knew what was ahead of us.
Okay.
And so we had put in place a lot of contingency plans ahead of the reorganization of the party. And we had experts who were already working on the party's manifesto. Like I told you, we have some of the best brains you can think of in terms of human resource and all of that. And so they are the people who have always worked on every PNC manifesto since 1992. Most of them are still around. And depending on the environment and the climate in which we find ourselves, they add a few things, take away a few things for us to update the manifesto, because Ghana's problems since 1992 have not changed. They have largely been the same. Just a few tinkering would solve all of those problems. So we built on those previous manifestos to ensure that they reflect our current situation as a people. So as for the manifesto, our manifesto will be ready very soon. But like I said, it is the sole prerogative of the flag bearer to recommend somebody to NEC for running mate. Okay. So we are waiting as a party for him to do that, and then we'll kick in. And indeed, whilst all of these things were going, in terms of the endorsement for the presidential nomination forms, we already have all the necessary endorsements done, left with some few districts. And we'll be good to go.
Enti policies bɛyin na Ghana for expect wɔ mo manifesto ne mu because per dia weekend the national health insurance school feeding program other one be our kan ya NDC ne MPP akɔpe mu yi
the establishment of the Ministry for Gender
and Children and Social Protection and also your more idea for now eno nyina run deda enti ade foforo bɛyin na Ghana for nhwɛ ne mu from PNC manifesto say where the omo ba be kan na se betimi Ghana economy no na ya ahwe so ato abama mo.
Well, I have not been mandated to speak to our manifesto.
But at least you have some fair idea.
Let's not take the cat out of the bag yet. So let's wait. At the appropriate time, we are going to engage you. You know what is in our manifesto. We just had our first meeting as newly sworn in executives, and my national chairman is there. My leader is there. I will not feel comfortable having to come and discuss our manifesto.
All right.
As of now.
But me sure say what the NDC ni NPP manifesto mo de buy 24-hour economy digitalization.
Yes.
Also say no nebe boa o man no.
Well, you see, after 8 years as a certain government, digitalization has always been high on the agenda. Digitalization has not reduced the price of fuel.
Digitalization has not reduced the price of fuel. Neither has it.
It has not reduced the price of
fertilizer.
It has not brought down transport costs. It has not brought down inflation. And so, if you come to talk to me about digitalization, and that is a trump card of the sitting government, I would tell you that they have gotten it wrong.
So is it a bad policy or
why is digitalization a policy? What is a policy?
Is it a policy?
What is a policy? Digitalization for what?
Okay.
You understand? You see, when you talk about these things, this is mere sloganeering. People are just looking for an opportunity to confuse the electorate, to bamboozle them, and to create a certain euphoria around which people just get excited for nothing. But most of the people do not take their time actually to understand what some of these. If you say that you are championing digitalization, what is digitalization? You understand? And I'm telling you that we have basic problems that are confronting our people. Are people able to afford basic necessities of life? Those are the things that political parties should be speaking to and saying that given the opportunity, I will do this, I will do that. Generally, a government is supposed to seek the well-being and the welfare of its people. So whatever you say you are coming to do, how does it account for that?
What about 24-hour economy?
24-hour economy, it's about job creation. And we know that there's massive unemployment. So if there's a policy that would ensure that people get jobs, I don't have any problem with it.
So you think 24-hour economy no you're stronger than digitalization?
We could discuss
the
mode of the implementation of the 24-hour economy.
Okay.
But largely, if you put it down and say that somebody promises a 24-hour economy which is linked to job creation, that is a direct approach to solving one aspect of the problem that confronts us. Unlike somebody saying that you are going to use digital, of course you say that you use digitalization. At the end of the day, what is the end result of that digitalization agenda that you are championing? So that we put those things side by side and then we do an evaluation of it.
All right. My name is someone follow polls so I think from April March cry and I say quarter biani a release a woman manti biani be about it for analysis when say woman no release polls in Ibiaba. It's like polls in Ebony na PNC ye kura gum I say gum ne Alan ne shada mo na woto ho kakra. Is it a worrying situation for PNC and as a Ghana for omurefimo?
Well, we have been disorganized as a party.
Okay.
We have been disorganized as a party since 2021. Like I said, from the 2021.
Because of court issues.
Court issues. We are disorganized. So there was no way you could track the performance, the vibrancy, or the activeness of the PNC to be able to engage in proper polling. So I was not surprised, even though I was worried.
Yeah.
I was not surprised that we were not captured in some of those polls. But I can tell you that from today going, any new poll that would come out you would see.
We will see PNC.
PNC will be there because henceforth we are going to be actively involved in the political space and be organizing ourselves in campaign towards election 2024.
All right. More file candidates for parliamentary, more plans, more on crop 4. 275 constituency no. It says 276. Sala beka ho. Ombe jina mu amamo.
Well,
do you have the numbers?
Well, we cannot engage in a fool's paradise and say that we will fill 276 parliamentary candidates. One of the cardinal things that I told you here from the beginning was the fact that we have been alienated from the political space for a lack of representation in parliament.
Okay.
Because of that, we are concentrating on filing parliamentary candidates in constituencies in which we have done enough research and seen that the evidence supports our ability and the highest possibility of winning those parliamentary seats. But I can tell you that on the minimum, we would file about 100 parliamentary candidates in the elections in 2024. And our focus as a party is to get representation in parliament, no matter the number of MPs we get. We must be represented in the next parliament.
PNC, at all costs, you should have a representation
in
parliament. Okay. All right. Meba cha oni 95.1 FM na yegusu ayene mo edi nkomo no ene me ne Awudu Ishaq, General Secretary edema PNC na yedi nkomo no. Meba cha wo hwa na nadu amamu a obe reti ne say.
Akufo-Addo.
For the last 8 years.
Onye pass mark. Onye pass mark.
Nya wa ye nyina free SHS ne drip odi abane agenda 111 one village one dam one district one factory.
What is drip?
Name them.
Drip is another opportunity to create loot and share. Do you know the drip arrangement?
The drip as that.
It's another opportunity for a create loot and share.
Okay.
Create loot and share.
Is
another is in the offing as far as drip is concerned, because if you have district share of the common fund that would be used in servicing the cost of these machines, and you know, just like the previous contracts, some of whom people consider to be stinking contracts in terms of sanitation and all of that, where the assemblies have no control over whether they should pay the so-called contractors or not. It's not different from this particular drip arrangement, because it is the Common Fund Secretariat that will take the money and pay the supplier or the contractor who provided this drip equipment. I would not subscribe to it. And like I said, one of the reasons for which I say Akufo-Addo will not get a pass mark if I were to rate him is rot and corruption. I think that this particular government has been too corrupt. There's a lot of rot in the system. There are a lot of scandals in the system. This is not what they promised us. The fight against Galamsey is a sham. It's a sham. The cost against Galamsey is a sham. It's a sham that their own committee that they formed under the chairmanship of the renowned Professor Frimpong Boateng has come out to rate the Galamsey fight as a sham, to the extent that excavators that had been seized, about 800 of them, a lot of them got missing. Galamsey, excavators, an excavator is not like something you can put in your pocket. If you want to transport an excavator, we know what trouble you would have to go through.
Yeah.
But excavators don't move by themselves. But they were able to go backstage and steal all of them, telling us that they are in a fight against Galamsey. That cannot be a serious government. And that cannot be a government that can be rated highly. How different and a PNC, when your opportunity and fight Galamsey? Because they say Galamsey, you would echo. You sure in say forest in I say. You see, it will have to take a disciplined president. It will have to take an honest president. It will have to take a truthful president to ensure that officialdom, assigns of the government at the local level, at the national level, who are the real campaigns in the galamsey business are stopped. Because when you go to the people who are doing the galamsey didn't start today.
Yeah.
But because it was left for the idle hands, those who were low down there,
sure,
they could not spoil the water, our water bodies and our forest bodies, to this particular extent. It is because of the involvement of people who have the power to procure all of these humongous machines, machinery, and excavators that has resulted in the kind of destruction we have seen in this space of time. Otherwise, galamsey had been there for long, even though I am not supporting that it should have been there in the first place because it is an illegal activity. But I'm saying that it is the involvement of people in authority that has resulted in the level of destruction of our water bodies and our forests that we have seen. And these are not people who are unknown. These are people who are known. The evidences are there. It will take a president to stand on his feet and tell them that you cannot be in my government or you cannot be part of my party and be engaged in galamsey.
So by extension, Nanado is not disciplined
at all.
Nanado is not honest.
No. He told you he had put his president on the line. Did he do that? I'm not the one saying it. The evidence abound.
All right. Back to PNC. We know say breaking a bem. I'm my former General Secretary.
Janet
Nabila Omako for me PMP near the account. Will you bring them back?
Well, I understand that they have gone already to pick nomination forms. They want to contest. Janet is the flag bearer and the leader of the party. Indeed, as for a political party, you need as many people as possible. Given the opportunity, if they are prepared for us to work together, I'm not sure that it should be a difficult thing to do. Indeed, once there's a breakaway, there must be an opportunity to bring everybody back so that we can build a one-son. Nobody is interested in being in opposition for long. Once they are prepared to come back, for us to work, for us to have that united front and with one focus and agenda, why not? We can work with them.
All right. Adia mam ho chiremo Emma afena niyama bobo mo so your court issues. The Dr. Akpasara opeso wo ye and sign for mo go back to and I'm on ne be kasa so that court now or threaten no or resign the decision.
Well, Akpasara has not gone to court.
But he's threatening to go to court.
He's threatening to go to court. I respect him so much because he loves me. Akpasara loves me and he likes my approach to issues as far as the PNC is concerned. So I'm a bit worried about the trajectory he's going now. We were all concerned about the limited time within which we had to organize the party ahead of the elections. And so I believe that the party still have elders who have what it takes to mediate, to talk to Mr. David Apasara, Honorable David Apasara, to see the need to let sleeping dogs lie so that we could build the PNC so that he would get another opportunity given another shot at leadership so that he could come and probably benefit from the party again.
All right.
There's no need in destroying the party after having been in the party all this while.
All right. Sorry, I'm a sponsor for now, but quick one. In the coming days, what should we be expecting from the PNC?
Well, of course, like I indicated, as for now, the most pressing matter that lies ahead of us
running mate and
is the selection of our running mate
and
the filing of our nominations. After that, we are going to unveil our manifesto and we'll hit the campaign trail.
All right. We'll call it a day here. I was a gun of when young PNC marriage. Some of it me as son niema. No matter to Abama.
In the next coming days, you would see what we will do for
and
Ghanaians.
We'll feel it.
You will.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We are here for a revolutionary change.
Thank you very much.
You know what a revolution means.
Sure. Maybe I tell your friend Ishaq, Awudu, General Secretary for PNC, and NAWA, Meneno Edin, come up.